You know, Charlotte, where are you? Charlotte, where are you hiding? Over here. She invited me, what, 3 months ago? So 3 months ago. Didn't know I'd be up here doing this. I thought I was just going to be talking about running for public office. But I want to say thank you for coming out. Thank you for your interest. We're finding this kind of interest all over the state. I've been at this all of 24 hours now. Today I did 24 interviews. Wow. And it's been very interesting and kind of a whirlwind. Our website, on Facebook, apparently we're number 6 in the country right now already in 24 hours with the number of, on the fan page of all the Senate candidates is what I just heard. So things are moving rapidly. We need your help. Let's talk about what happened. Why did I decide to do this? Why did I decide to run? This was not an easy decision. With 4 children between 9 and 19, it's not a casual decision. But you know what? Our country's in trouble. It's in serious trouble. And I think we all understand that. And it came down to worrying about my wife and my kids if I were to do this. And my wonderful wife, Terry, many of you have met my wife, Terry, the greatest blessing in my life for 23 years now. And she says, I appreciate that you're worried about us. She said, but you have to take this to a different level. And she said the other level is, what kind of country are we going to leave our children? And if you're in a position to do something about this, isn't it your responsibility to do it? And she said, if you decide to do it, I will back you 100%. I do have the greatest wife in the world, I'll tell you. So what's this election going to be about? It's actually going to be about purpose and role of government. And should it be a limited government or should it be an overreaching government? That's what this is going to be about. You see about that. My grandparents, Dino Rossi, came from Taranto, Italy, up in the hills outside of Rome. My grandma came from Florence. They came through Ellis Island, worked their way across America, ended up in Black Diamond, Washington over 100 years ago. Grandpa worked in the coal mines. They came to America because they thought America would be a better place for themselves, their children, and their grandchildren. Because they believed in that American dream, that the opportunities here were limitless, only restricted by your talent and your work ethic, and what you're willing to put into it. And a lot of people sense that that's slipping away. You see what's happening at the federal level, where they're gathering up all this power. You know, they're controlling car companies, banks, insurance companies, student loans, and health care. You think about that. Every time they raise your taxes, they're taking money from the job-creating, wealth-creating sector of society and putting it into government for temporary jobs. That's what's happening. And when our own bankers, the Chinese, last time I checked they were communists, would tell us we're spending too much money, we're spending too much money. Clearly we're headed for a brick wall. And so I thought, you know, as a state senator, I was a guy who worked across party lines and balanced what at that time was the biggest budget deficit in state history without raising taxes and still protected the most vulnerable. As someone said to me, he said, you know, they probably could use someone back there who knows how to balance a budget. So that's why I decided to run for the United States Senate. It couldn't be more of a contrast for the candidates, I tell you, because I'm running against the candidates number 3 in earmarks, been there 18 years. Number 4 in leadership. You know what? This is going to be a stark change and a stark difference. But this country is at stake. The leadership of the free world is at stake here, folks. There's a lot at stake. I need your help to do this. These candidates need your help. We're going to talk about that in a second. We need your help. DinoRossi.com. If you want to volunteer, please go on the website so we can know where our volunteers are. We're going to need you. This is a 5-month sprint. That's what this is. Now, over the years, I've recruited a lot of candidates to run for office. You know, for all sorts of levels of office. A lot of people, once a week, a candidate will call me and ask me, what's it really like to run? And they want to know, how do you do these sorts of things? And 7 years in the Senate, I recruited candidates for the Senate, raised money for them, held their hand during the election. And you know, I tell people the only reason to ever run for public office, there's only one. And that is to be in the right place at the right time to do something good. If you're doing it for any other reason, say you want to see your name in the paper, I guarantee you'll be surrounded by words you don't like. Yeah. And there's no other reason to do something like this, to go through what you have to go through to run for public office. These people up here, they're putting themselves out here for the public. And you know, they're all quality people who I'm sure once they serve in Olympia, they understand those things that need to be done. But they're going to need your help. They are going to need your help. Olympia, there's some big problems down there as well. You know, if you look at what's happening in Olympia, they got a time bomb they're going to have to defuse down there. The time bomb is about an $8 to $10 billion budget deficit. And the reason they have an $8 to $10 billion budget deficit in Olympia is because in the last budget, in 2009, they took almost $5 billion of one-time Obama money and the stimulus money and plugged it into the budget for ongoing expenditures, you know, for salaries and things like that. That money's not going to be there next time. They've created a monster is what they've created, versus making some of the tough decisions. And so we have to have some very level-headed people going down there. I'm telling you, in Washington, D.C. and Olympia, they need some adult supervision. So I'm glad these people have stepped up. And we're seeing quality candidates like these all over the state of Washington. It's remarkable, people that are coming out of the woodwork, who, you know, many of them maybe never thought they'd ever run for office. It's not something they set out to do. But they're going to need your help. They're going to need your help in doorbelling. They're going to need your help financially. They're going to need your help all the way through. We've got 5 months. It's a 5-month sprint. But it's the future of the state, and it's the future of the country that's at stake. I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being involved. Thank you for having me out. Take care. God bless.